What's up, guys? It's Zero here. Today we're talking about Prototype 3 and the possibility of a continuation of this iconic franchise. Let's talk about it. So guys, I have been talking about a Prototype 3 on the YouTube channel for quite some time, and I've been wanting us to get a continuation of this franchise. I thought that the first game was absolutely iconic. Sure, Prototype 2 felt like a step in the wrong direction, but at the same time, I believe that a Prototype 3 should exist. It should have rounded out a trilogy at the very least, but at the same time, I feel like this is a very unique type of game that should be getting continuations into the future. So let's talk about it. So guys, in an article coming to us from Games Learning Society, will there be a Prototype 3 game? The Prototype series has become a staple in the action-adventure genre, known for its fast-paced action, deep storyline, and intense graphics. Since the release of Prototype in 2009, fans have been waiting eagerly for a third installment. Yes, there is a high demand for Prototype 3, and of course, guys, we're going to explore this here. And as you can see, it states like the release year of when these games previously came out, that being Prototype came out in 2009, and then Prototype 2 came out in 2012, both by Radical Entertainment. And Prototype 2 also came out from Raven Software. Of course, the publisher is Activision. Raven Software has also worked on, a number of Call of Duty titles at this point. But that being said, as you can see, the series saw a brief hiatus after Prototype 2's release in 2012. The franchise has been dormant since then, with no official announcements regarding a new game. Honestly, guys, it's been a long time since we had a Prototype game. It was 3 years between the first one to the second one, and we have not heard or seen anything since then. Well, despite the hiatus, rumors and speculation surrounding a potential Prototype 3 game have continued to circulate among fans and the gaming community. So, Radical Entertainment's reboot. Radical Entertainment, the developer of the first two games, was acquired by Nordic Games in 2013. The studio has since moved on to work on other projects, including Rise of the Tomb Raider and Sunset Overdrive. While there has been no direct confirmation of a Prototype 3 project, the acquisition and subsequent revitalization of the studio has led some fans to speculate that a reboot or new iteration of the series could be in the works. I think of Prototype, guys, similar to Infamous, which obviously is another game that I really enjoyed. It's very much so like similar, different in certain aspects. I really actually enjoyed Prototype more than I liked Infamous, but nonetheless, Radical Entertainment, guys, since its acquisition, Rise of the Tomb Raider obviously is a much larger franchise, the Tomb Raider franchise that is, than Prototype is, obviously. But could they come back to doing a Prototype 3? I think they absolutely should. So, Radical Entertainment's focus on third-person action games has raised eyebrows among fans, increasing the likelihood of a new Prototype installment. The studio has successfully rebooted and reinvigorated the Tomb Raider franchise through its work on Rise of the Tomb Raider. This success could potentially inspire a similar approach for the Prototype series. Now, obviously, guys, Insomniac Games, which are known for the Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man Miles Morales, has expressed interest in rebooting or creating a new Prototype installment. Although this is still speculation at this point, the company's expertise in third-person action games and previous experience with Spider-Man Miles Morales make a promising partnership. I agree. I think Insomniac would do a great job with a Prototype game. I think that they've got a lot of, expertise when we talk about third-person games, and I think they could do something really special with a Prototype 3 as well if Radical Entertainment decided to not continue working on, the Prototype franchise, which right now, obviously, they're not working on it, at least from what we know at this point. So could they license it out or, sell the IP, something of that nature? Is there a possibility with Insomniac Games doing Prototype 3? I think it's absolutely possible. Another one is Volition Entertainment, developers of Saints Row, has also hinted at a desire to create a new Prototype game. Volition's expertise in open-world sandboxes and fast-paced action games has fans speculating about potential Prototype 3 gameplay mechanics and directions. So what would fans hope to see in a potential Prototype 3 game? Well, improved protagonist customization. Allow players to customize James Heller's abilities, powers, or even create a new protagonist. I'm going to say this. This is what I think really hurt Prototype from the rip. The first game I thought was incredible. Obviously a greenlit Prototype 2. But the problem I have with Prototype 2 is that they moved on from Alex Mercer so quickly. And I'm not saying that James Heller isn't a good character or protagonist. I just think that they moved on from Alex Mercer way too quickly. I feel that Alex Mercer should have had at least 1 to 2 more games before he passes the torch to James Heller. And that's just my personal opinion, guys. I thought James Heller was, fine. I thought he was a great protagonist. I just thought that Alex Mercer was kind of going to be the face of the franchise, at least for a period of time, similar to, like Gears of War or, God of War or The Witcher. You have these iconic characters that you kind of base your entire franchise around. And then, at some point you pass the torch. Marcus Phoenix passed the torch over to JD Phoenix, his son. The Witcher, you had Geralt now passing the torch to Ciri. And so I feel like Alex Mercer could have certainly done this with James Heller, but just at a later time. I think it was way too soon, and I know it definitely turned me off with, in terms of moving on from Alex Mercer so quickly. Large open world environments. Well, fans want the freedom to explore a vast and realistic city like the original Prototype, or even create a whole new environment. I agree. Enhanced graphics and combat, a faster pace, more visceral combat style system, combined with cutting-edge visuals to rival other action-adventure games. I think that with new graphics, guys, it could look absolutely incredible. I really do, because there's no other games out there that are like Prototype. I feel like Prototype was in this very niche type of style game, and I think that there really hasn't been anything really like it if you think about it. And so I do think that they could really capitalize on this title. New mutations and abilities. Fans want a more varied range of mutations to provide an additional layer of strategy and engagement. I agree. More emphasis on story and character development. Emphasize character growth, emotional development, and meaningful connections between Alex Mercer and other characters. I think that there needed to be more character development with Alex Mercer. I thought it was great with Prototype 1, but I think they could have evolved that into Prototype 2, but instead they went a different direction with, Heller. And I'm not saying, like I said, I don't think that James Heller is a bad character. I just think that they needed to continue developing Alex Mercer as a character. And, it's hard to say whether or not, guys, they would continue Alex Mercer or James Heller, or if they would go in a completely new direction. At this point, you probably would almost want to go in a completely new direction with a new protagonist or bring back Alex Mercer. That would just be my personal opinion. While there hasn't been an official announcement regarding a Prototype 3 game, the rumblings from Radical Entertainment and other potential developers are promising. Fans are united in their demand for a new installment in the series, and with the popularity of the first 2 games, the industry seems primed for a thrilling sequel. As we close, we're left hoping that Prototype 3 arrives sooner rather than later and looks forward to seeing the possibilities it can offer. With the gaming world abuzz with excitement, an announcement for Prototype 3 remains imminent, and fans will be keenly waiting for concrete information. So, look, I do think that a Prototype 3 game should exist. It should have actually existed a long time ago. But I think, guys, that from the first game, which did really well, the second game did not sell as well as the first one. And I think that comes down to a number of things, but I really think it starts with your main protagonist changing so quickly from Alex Mercer to, James Heller. And so I think if they bring back Alex Mercer, that could be a really great way to kick off Prototype 3. Or if they just go in the direction of a completely new protagonist that's a really compelling protagonist, create a really compelling story, create like a Prototype Online that brings you back to the experience over and over again. Maybe even do a Prototype 3 like co-op mode where you can be Alex Mercer and your friend can be James Heller, vice versa. I think that there's a number of ways that they could go about doing a Prototype 3, but obviously, it really comes down to us as the community echoing this game into existence. I think that we as the community have got to voice our opinion that we want a Prototype 3 game made, whether it's on social media, whether it's on Reddit, on social media forums, things of that nature. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Would you want to see a Prototype 3? And if so, what would be the direction you would want to see the developers going here? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more Prototype 3 content and videos, keep it right here.